y'all. So if you're new, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I share my knowledge, wisdom, and perspectives on things that I've experienced on my journey of truly connecting with self. And so today I'm gonna be completely breaking down what mental disorders really are, because yes, they are very real feelings, but you've got to know that whatever mental disorder that you're diagnosed with is really just an internal energetic blockage rooting from something specifically. And once you get to the root of what that is, you can learn to cleanse and transmute and truly overcome whatever energetic blockage was there. You feel me? Like whatever mental disorder that you were diagnosed with, you can overcome that to where it doesn't exist anymore. But it takes a lot of inner work, a lot of focus, a lot of patience to truly overcome these things. But again, it's really just energetic blockage. And so they just put a label on it to make it normalized, so people don't think that they have the power to truly overcome these things, yo. But we do. We have the power to truly overcome these mental disorders, yo. But they're so normalized, and again, they just literally just put a label on something that you can overcome internally, and then people just surrender to these labels and literally manifest that energy onto themselves by thinking of themselves in that way. Of course, you got to be real with yourself and be aware of what you're feeling, but once you get to the root of why it is that you're feeling the way that you are, you can overcome that shit, yo. But then again, they put a label on it to make us feel comfortable about what we're feeling, to the point that people don't even want to overcome what it is that they're going through. It's just they want to surrender to that specific vibration, and people literally make it their whole identity, which is something that should have never been normalized, yo. Then they give you all these different medications to suppress what it is that you're feeling, but all that's gonna do is make you rely on that medication constantly, yo. That's why it's strategically set up this way for a reason. The medication is never going to actually get to the root cause of why it is that you're feeling the way that you are and actually like help that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's only gonna suppress what it is that you're feeling temporarily, so you keep coming back and coming back and coming back, and you're just a forever customer for them. That's why this whole system is designed that way. But I'm telling you, you have the power to overcome these energetic blockages, yo. And so again, all the medication is gonna do is suppress it, but it's actually gonna make it even harder when it actually comes back up to the surface, and you have to face that emotion head on, yo. You have to face that energetic blockage head on. It's gonna make it even harder to overcome it the more you constantly just keep suppressing it and keep suppressing it. You have to be aware that it's there, and then once you're truly aware of it and you get to the root of why you're feeling the way that you are, again, you can overcome it, yo. So again, the first step in truly overcoming these mental disorders, which are really just energetic blockages, is getting to the root of like where it's all rooted from in the first place. You feel me? So for example, say there's someone who identifies with having depression, right? And yes, this is a very real thing. It's a very real feeling. But you got to know that the best way to overcome that depression is to get to the root of where the depression is rooted from in the first place. Like what's triggering that depression. You know what I'm saying? Like medication is never going to be the best option, because again, it's only temporarily suppressing what it is that you're feeling, but it's not getting to the root cause. That depression is going to keep coming up. You're going to keep relying on that medication. You feel me? And so for example, right, say the depression is rooted from you grieving over a person that you recently lost in your life, or a recent breakup that you just went through, or simply that you're over consuming and you don't have a creative outlet, a way to express your creative energy, right? Like these things can lead to depression, right? And so you got to really sit with yourself and ask yourself questions and really like overcome these things internally. Like it's not just gonna be one little meditation and then you just overcome it fully. Like you're gonna have to work through this every single day, especially if you've been surrendering to it for, you feel me, a long period of time, whatever it is, right? And so again, you have to get to the root of what it is, right? So for example, right, say that you're grieving over a person that you just lost in your life, like a family member. You've got to know that, like, you got to give yourself time to grieve, right? Time to just cry and just let yourself feel what you need to feel when it comes to this person, right? But know that this person is going to want you to live your life to the fullest and not, you feel me, spend your life grieving over them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you got to just come to acceptance with a lot of things. Like, life isn't easy. And you got to come to acceptance with things in order to, you feel me, truly move on from those things. So give yourself time to grieve, but know that you can't keep letting that weigh you down. You have to move on. And you feel me, like, how about you transmute that energy, you feel me, of losing that person, right, into, you feel me, like a powerful form of energy where it's like you have a harder drive to, like, accomplish what it is that you're moving towards, like accomplish your big goals, or you feel me, you just have like this harder drive to, like, make the most out of your life because you want to, like, give that back to that person or like whatever it is. But like, anything's better than letting that just weigh on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as uncomfortable as it is to, like, bring these things up to the surface, you have to and you have to really feel these things and sit with these things in order to truly overcome them. You feel me? The same goes for other mental disorders like anxiety and ADHD, like, etc. Like, you gotta just get to the root of why it is you're feeling the way that you are. So, like, just real quick, when it comes to anxiety, most of the time it's rooted from, like, just over caring what other people think about you, right? Or like, maybe when you were little, people tried to make fun of you a lot. Like, maybe a group of kids at school, like, always made fun of you for what you were wearing, or, you feel what I'm saying? And now this is like something that's been instilled with you since you were young, and now it's like something that you're carrying with you. You know what I'm saying? So now you have anxiety to just, like, walk in a store by yourself. You think everybody's looking at you and this and that. Like, no, this is something that's been instilled since you were young, and you have to bring that up to the surface and accept that you let other people bring you down and you let other people shape the way that you feel about yourself. And now you have to pour that energy back into yourself. You know what I'm saying? And, like, just practice being more confident and being more secure within yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so you've got to realize that, like, you have the power to truly overcome these things. You have the power to transmute and cleanse that energy, yo. Instead of surrendering to feelings that most people, again, just surrender to their whole lives, yo. Like, you don't have to surrender to those things anymore. It's all about just bringing those things up to the surface and getting to the root of why you're feeling the way that you are. Like, that's literally all that it is, yo. Please stop telling yourself that you have a disorder. You're only further manifesting that energy onto yourself, yo, because the words that we speak are so powerful. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I know y'all don't want to hear it, but for those of you who walk around literally making it your whole identity, like, oh, I have depression, oh, I have anxiety, like, you're making it so hard for you to actually overcome what it is that you're going through internally, yo. It's like you're manifesting that energy onto yourself in the most powerful way possible. Stop telling yourself that you have a disorder. You don't. It's only a label. Of course, like, these things are real feelings, and I'm not trying to invalidate anything that anybody is going through because they're real. I've went through these things myself. I'm speaking literally from personal experience. And I'm not trying to put anybody down, but you have to be aware that, like, you can overcome these things, yo. Like, you have to know your power. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up surrendering to that vibration, to that energy for all of your life, yo. Don't get down on yourself if you're diagnosed with this or that. It's literally just a label. It's an illusion. It's not a part of who you are. It's just a part of what you've experienced in this specific lifetime. And you have to be real with yourself and be aware of, like, why these things are even there in the first place, yo. But again, once you get to the root, you can overcome it, yo. And it's like, it's the most beautiful feeling in the world, knowing that you never needed medication in the first place, but just to get to the root of why you're feeling the way that you are, yo. But it's like, when you surrender to these things for most of your life, it's gonna be so hard to truly overcome them, yo. Because it's like your body and your mind are so used to, like, just surrendering to that emotion every time it comes up, to the point where, like, you need medication to, like, just feel okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you really want to live your life without needing medication to suppress, you feel me, what it is that you're going through, and you want to just be free, you're gonna have to really dig deep to like overcome this, yo. You're gonna have to want it really, really bad, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta know that you're more than capable, yo. Trust me, I'm aware that, you feel me, people are born with ADHD and things of that nature, right? But most of the time when these things happen, it's rooted from, you feel me, the state of like their parents, and the fact that their parents weren't aware of how to truly overcome these things themselves, and so they kind of like pass that on to their kids, you know what I'm saying? Or it's literally just the environment that you grew up, like the household you grew up in, you feel me, like what you go through and what you experience, especially in your own home when you're at a really young age, like that literally shapes your whole vibration, yo. And another thing, like what you put in your body literally affects how your brain operates, how your body operates, you know what I'm saying? So if you want your mind to work at its highest potential, you have to shift to eating like natural foods, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if while the mom was pregnant, she was eating like just garbage, just like processed food and just dead energy, like that's gonna have an effect of how that kid is born. Like I can almost guarantee you that if the mom is eating all natural foods while she's pregnant, like there's gonna be nothing wrong with that baby, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, people don't understand how important these things truly are, you feel me? And I do just want to make this very, very clear. I am not talking about autism, because I know that autism is a whole different concept, and it's way more complicated and deeper than just overcoming one thing internally. Yeah, I'm not about to speak too much on autism. I just wanted to clarify that in this video, I am not talking about autism at all. I am aware that truly overcoming things that people go through that are autistic is like, it's way deeper than just sitting in a meditation over it, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to clarify that. When I say all this, I'm speaking from personal experience. Like I dealt with a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression growing up, right? But it was really just rooted from the fact that I over cared about what everybody else thought about me, and I was a people pleaser. Like instead of showing up and being my authentic self, I was like being the person that would be accepted by other people. And it's like, that wasn't the situation with every single interaction and every single situation, but it was a very real thing that I had to sit with and I had to overcome, you know what I'm saying? And just fearing negative judgment from other people. So I would show up in a certain way that would make people feel comfortable. Like if I were to I was like scared to step into my power, you know what I'm saying? Like and just over caring about what everybody else thought about me, yo. Like that's really all that it was. And it was a couple other things that tied into it, but I'm gonna have a whole nother video talking about my experiences doing inner healing, because there's a lot of things that I've had to overcome personally. So that's gonna be like a whole separate video, but I'm not trying to make this sound easier than it is, because it's really hard to actually overcome these things that you've surrendered to for most of your life, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to clarify that really quick. So yeah, in order to truly overcome these energetic blockages, like these heavy energetic blockages that I just kept surrendering to for most of my life, like it took a lot to truly overcome these things internally, yo. And I had to connect to that higher awareness, that higher state of consciousness, to be aware of how I was operating, again, from that higher consciousness, yo. Like I had to really sit down with myself and really admit certain things to myself, like about the way in which I was operating that honestly were really uncomfortable to admit to myself and to bring up to the surface. But like these things are so necessary to bring up to the surface and truly feel these things in order to truly know how to overcome these things, you know what I'm saying? And to truly like envision that version of you that doesn't operate with these energetic blockages anymore. And I would highly recommend checking out my video on our 7 main chakras, because I break down how to be aware of certain energetic blockages that might be within you, and how to overcome those energetic blockages. It's a really deep and in-depth breakdown, so I would highly recommend checking that out, especially if you're dealing with a lot of things internally that are disrupting just the peace and the bliss and the freedom that you should be experiencing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would highly recommend checking that out. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And if you genuinely enjoyed this video, all that I ask is that you drop a like and sub if you resonate with my energy, as I go in depth on a lot of different spiritual concepts, right? But yeah, share your thoughts, your questions in the comments below. But I hope y'all taking care of yourself, and peace and love.